All right, Anna, for athletes and people who exercise, I know your experience working with athletes, sports trainers and coaches. And in fact, you're sponsored to world champion boxers. And I know that you also went to Papua New Guinea and trained boxers. You're also an ex-world champion martial artist, which you didn't put in your question, but I'm going to tell everyone anyway.
Okay.
So how does glutathione compare to any other sports performance or recovery product on the market?
Well, very, very interesting. Now, the biggest, I remember with the first technology that we worked with, when I saw the world champion heavy lifter, which was Bill Gillespie, I'll never forget what he said in the interview and how it affected him when he went onto a glutathione technology for the first time. Now, he talks about, when you go into doing lifts, and you have to do 3 lifts, I think. The first lift is always the easiest because you've got the most strength. And then you have to go, and do another lift and repeat that same lift. So you're only as strong as your recovery. How fast can you recover between those heavy lifts so that your body can do the same thing again? And that's what he spoke about. And everything that he had tried and everything that he'd been on, he was never ever strong enough to get the same result as he did in his first lift. It was always weaker in the second lift. And the third lift was even weaker. So when he started on the glutathione technology, he was getting stronger. He said that with every lift, he was getting stronger, and it was showing in the results. So by the third lift, he was even performing stronger than what he did in the first lift. So he knew that something had changed significantly with the glutathione technology, because his cells were recovering at such a rate in between lifts that he could do it even better. So the body is being obviously empowered. The cells are given the ingredients to be empowered to what they need. And that was profound. And I knew what he was talking about, because when I started taking the technology, and when I went out to do some, I put myself through a test to see, you could do, push-ups or sit-ups, and you could see how many you could do in a certain amount of time, in that time, and then you would repeat it, and you would repeat it 3 times. And it was incredible. It was so incredible that what the body was doing, you just have to actually put yourself through it to go, wow, this is incredible. And so I knew that we had something so profound, and that's why I sponsored the 2 boxing, one in Australia. Sylvia Sharper, she won it 2 years ago, I think it was now. I was at the event. It was very exciting. Very, very exciting to have one of, the people that you were supporting win the world champion. And also in Papua New Guinea, with Jarko Jasila, he won the world champion. We sponsored him. We gave him the technology. And, he said, it was never like, and I actually have an interview with him. I interviewed him and I asked him, and I said, tell me the difference between how it was prior to being on a glutathione technology, when you were, competing, when you were training. He said, well, I used to take a lot of, caffeine boost drinks. Yeah. And he said, and what I found was, he said that, I would get a spike up, but then it would be a spike down, and you would hit. And if let's say you had to wait in between fights, sometimes fights get delayed for whatever reason, opponents don't show up, or they're delayed, and all of that energy that you're ready for the fight depletes. And so that wasn't working for him, because by the time he got in the ring, he was already exhausted. And if he had to travel, I remember he was coming from Finland, he said it took him almost 4 days to get to Papua New Guinea. And I said, oh my goodness. And he said, it doesn't matter because I got the glutathione technology. And he said, and when you take the glutathione technology, you notice that you just keep going. Your body just keeps going. You find all this extra energy, and it's there. It's there when you need it, on demand. And that is the thing about glutathione. When you build your stores, and now we've got the extra added benefit of going straight into the bloodstream, your body has it on demand. When it needs it, it will activate it and it will go. It's the difference between a normal, 2-cylinder engine, and all of a sudden you've got a V12 and you've got access to that, and it is powered, and that's how you feel. And that's why whenever we introduce this to an athlete, I don't say too much. I say, give it a try for a week or 2 weeks and tell me if you notice the difference. They come back going, oh my goodness, what is this? Now, right now we're going through the process. There is nothing in there that athletes cannot take. It is safe for every athlete. We're going to have this, we're going to have the ASADA, stamps, and the, American stamp of approval for athletes so that, you know, they know that it's safe for them to take. It's very exciting times to be able to have something to give to people so that they can perform. It's the most powerful performance product that you could have, and recovery. That's the most important thing. You know, athletes get injury when their bodies get tired. They don't have enough to repair their cells after the performance, and they go back the next day, they're stiff, they're tight, and that's where injuries happen. So if we can empower them so that their bodies are working optimally, as if they just, you know, are training for the first time, and their bodies are fully recovered, there's no stiffness, there's no tightness, and they're out there performing again and again and again. And that's why we can get retired athletes at 40 back into doing boxing, back into the gym, fully training, running. These people had problems with knees, with joints, and all of a sudden they're coming back. And that is what I love to see. That's what I love. And that's why I'm happy to put my name behind this.
It's occurring naturally in your body. That's what I love about this, Annie. You're just giving your body what your body needs.
That's right.
We're not trying to make our body do something what we want it to do. When you give your body the ingredients to build glutathione, I mean, I got so many soldiers. I'm an ex-soldier involved with this product as well, because we used to use the mind-body link. We would just force our bodies to do whatever it took. Even if we broke it or we wrecked it, we just push through the pain barrier. But when our glutathione levels were high, and it's interesting you say on demand, because you know, I'm not a world champion boxer, but I box a lot. And I'm always recovering before the other guy in the ring. Like, I'm always ready to go 15 seconds before that other guy is, because I'm recovering faster. But I also found that I got the most benefit when I put the hammer down. When you put the hammer down in your last lift or your last round or your last minute of going, when you put the hammer down, you normally need the mental side, and it just keeps kicking in. That's natural. That's not caffeine. That's not just oxides, not all these energy things we used to take. It's already sitting in my body. And if I can keep my natural stores of glutathione high, then my body's going to do what it was designed to do.
That's right. I mean, it was there. You were born with it. It just depleted over time. Your cells are depleting. And this is the thing that people need to understand. It's very, very important. From eight, like I said before, you're producing double the amount of cells between 0 and approximately now 15 to 18. And then it starts to slow down. It plateaus. So you produce the same amount of cells between 18 and 20 or 15 and 20. And then after that, you start to lose more cells than you can produce. So we are trying to preserve all the cells. We're trying to keep them alive and give them what they need so that we don't cause, because antioxidants or free radical damage causes cell death. We know that. That's a scientific fact. And we are trying to stop the rusting. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to give the body the ingredients we need. Why are we doing that? Because we can't get it from food. We cannot get it any other way. That's why this is a breakthrough. That's why it's a standalone breakthrough. You cannot compare this to anything else. There's nothing else to compare it to.
I love how in your practitioners video, we've said practitioners know all these ingredients and what they do. So you just give them the information, they know what to do. Athletes know their bodies.
That's right.
They know their split timings when they're sprinting and swimming. They know how long they can go for. They know how much they can lift. An athlete knows their body. You just have to make it safe enough for them to try. When they try it, it doesn't matter what you say after that. They know their body. And if they get the result, they're away.
And this goes for every person that's training. You know, training at the gym is just, you don't have to be an athlete, but if you go regularly for walks and runs and jogs and just training at the gym, Pilates, yoga, whatever exercise you're doing, you're putting the body under enormous stress. Most people don't realize it. The more stress you put without glutathione, you're just depleting. You're depleting more and more. You're aging. So although you might feel better, as in you're not staying locked up, your cells are starving and you need to replenish it. That is very, very important.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for creating these videos for us, because not everyone's got access to someone like you, but we'll make these videos available so people can share it with practitioners and athletes. Again, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure, Dion. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.